it's Rich Tarani, the Tech Authority. Thanks for watching us today. On our program, we're really excited. We've got the team from Phone.com. We've got Rabban and Amber Newman. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. All is good. Good to be here.
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, we're really, really thrilled to have you. You've got this really cool launch of a new product. When I heard about it, I knew I had to have you on the program because I thought it was really innovative. But, people, they may not know. I usually ask a question at the top, tell me a little bit about your company. You've got such a great URL, phone.com. Obviously, you do something with the phone. But, all right, give us a little more. What exactly does your company do?
Well, Phone.com is a service provider that provides business phone solutions for small business. We are, I think, the company to offer modern solutions for the small business community. And for us, small means really small companies, from a sole proprietor to 10, 20 folks. We don't focus on larger businesses. That's our sweet spot.
Awesome. Now, if someone gets to 50 phones, what happens?
We will take care of you even if you're 200, but
Okay.
or more. We have customers that are much, much larger. Our sweet spot and the way we sell is that a small business community. We treat them well. They find us easily. It's self-provision mostly to sign up. It's a full service communication platform. The list of features and capabilities can all be found on www.phone.com, and we've been doing this for over 17 years.
And certainly I've seen you at all the IT expos in South Florida. I think just about all but one. I think you were sick at one. Maybe it was during COVID, but you've been pretty consistent. So people who follow me and go to industry events have certainly seen you there.
Yeah, I've been personally the company, and we're certainly good friends of the show and the whole community. So we're very excited. Yep.
And Amber, tell us about your journey. How did you get here? How did your career start, et cetera?
Well, I've been around the VoIP industry for almost 20 years now, starting with M5 Networks and a few other companies that have been acquired by some of the big players along the way. So it's been interesting to see the journey of where we've come with respect to the technology that's available, particularly to the small business customers that Phone.com services, which is what I'm really passionate about. And that's one of the reasons that this product launch is so exciting.
Yeah, and M5 was definitely an innovator, right? Went through a whole bunch of acquisitions. It got, if I go by memory, got bought by ShoreTel, which got bought by Mitel, that also bought Intertel, and now is doing a restructuring. So that's kind of my Cliff's notes on what I recall. But yeah, an innovative company. Yeah, you've been in this space a long time.
Yes, sir.
Good for you. So tell us, you've got a new launch. I want to hear all about it. Let's focus on that. Ari, what is it? What's it called?
The new product is called ProSIM, and it's the next generation. I think that phrase may be overused. It's the combination of our industry, UCaaS, unified communication, with mobility, with mobile phone service. Most of us that use UCaaS services know that we rely on mobile apps in order to get our second line, our business communications on a cellular phone, on a smartphone. We're taking it to the next level and really making it true mobility, true mobile cellular service. I'll let Amber explain it. We're just excited to offer this. I believe we're the first pure play to do this, certainly in North America.
And why? And I'm either of you can answer, but why do you need this? What is the actual pain point that you're solving?
We know that the especially in the small business community, I think it fits larger organizations as well, but in the small business community, a lot of folks want to use that separation, that phone line for their day-to-day business use, but don't want to use their cellular private phone number. They want to have a complete separation between their business persona and their private life. They get that number. They have some employees, even though they're a small company. But in order to do that, they have to rely on the mobile app. And this is especially true for so many small businesses with frontline employees, with businesses that are on the go, not folks like us now sitting in front of a laptop and always on. We know we can rely on good Wi-Fi or very strong broadband, and you can use apps. But as we all know, even applications that we love like FaceTime or WhatsApp, if the broadband isn't there, let alone no Wi-Fi and all, it just doesn't work, and you just pick up the phone and need it. And for folks and so many millions of small businesses that rely on the phone, that reliability is extremely important. Add to that all the capabilities that are connected to the UCaaS platform with privacy and compliance, recordings, monitoring your team, etc., etc. So we know that ask was there. We know that the mobile app, as much as it is there statistically, is not used the same, and we wanted to solve that problem. The last comment I'll make is that unlike larger enterprises, by us, it's the owner, 99%, that makes that decision and says, I like it, I want it. If I'm forcing it on my small team. It's not a big corporation that needs to address it.
Yeah, so integrating mobile workers and mobile devices has been a challenge ever since mobile devices became a thing, and especially since people started using cloud-based phone systems. For a long time, you had something like Find Me, Follow Me, which would first ring your office number and then ring your personal mobile number. Then the mobile apps started to come along. And so really businesses have kind of three choices these days with respect to their business phone numbers. They can have two phones. So you can have your personal phone and your work phone and carry around two phones and maintain them and pay for them, which isn't ideal, especially for our small customers. You can use a mobile app, which comes with challenges, particularly as Ari mentioned, with respect to Wi-Fi connectivity, or you can use your personal number. And what happens is even those people that have a mobile app installed tend to kind of default over time to using their personal number because of the Wi-Fi connectivity issues, especially if they're moving between locations as they're on phone calls. And also, you have to open an app. You have to engage with something different than your dialer, which is what you're used to using all the time. And so you start using your personal number, and that causes a host of problems with respect to keeping your personal identity and your business identity private. If you've got multiple people in your company, suddenly your workers or your sales reps own the relationship with the customer instead of the company owning that relationship. Your personal number is out in the world, and it's hard to figure out when a call comes in if it's a business number or a work number. And so, but ProSIM finally solves that problem by giving you a way to take and make business calls with your native dialer, so your same motion that you're used to, still with all of the advantages of a UCaaS system. So you still got hold music, you can have auto attendance, you can enforce policies like call recording and HIPAA compliance while your employees or you, if you're the business owner, are just using your phone the way you're used to using it with excellent quality of calls and no worries about having to have a Wi-Fi connection in order to support quality, reliable calling.
That's great. Anything to add, Ari?
I think Amber does a better job than me explaining it, right? But the scenarios, the examples, right? To see the different businesses. We just got getting started, but of course we had some customers that used it before we launched, and now in this last few days we have customers that are starting to use it. Of course, as we keep promoting it, it's really just launched, and we have healthcare facilities that again, small business, it's not hundreds, right, that folks used their cell phone for communications, which is not HIPAA compliant, and they know that it's not right. So we have some agents who said now they can use the service and be part of the system. We have other frontline employees that just move around. So we have a few that already signed up and already see the difference in the few weeks that they can use it. I think the best is to see it in a few months, right, and see how it really changes behavior. So the adoption is there. I'm also aware that the U.S. market is somewhat behind the European market in understanding dual SIM and two-line phones. We also have an issue with locked and unlocked phones. So this is all part of what we're working on, and there's some education, and it's you come to a website, you'll see how we solve the problem, and at least educate the market as well. So there's a lot of steps here. It's not a sprint like overnight, right? It's a process, but I think it's a game changer.
Yeah, I think companies don't realize the importance of keeping control of the number and the ability to keep that number as part of the family, especially if it's customer facing. And, if you have a worker who leaves and they take those customers with them, those customer relationships, because they belong to the phone, the personal phone. So, I mean, that can be an issue for companies that they haven't thought that through. And then my experience with locking is if you go to Europe and you have a phone on a payment plan, a lot of times the carriers will not allow you to have a second SIM. But it's really easy now if you do have an unlocked phone, right? You go to Europe and it's as easy as buying, let's say, a 1-month pass, and you scan a QR code, and now you have a second line. And when it works well, it works. When it works well. When it doesn't, I mean, I've had some challenges too. It's not a perfect solution, but with you guys running it, I'm sure it's a lot less of a challenge because you're not dealing with international carriers and going to different cities, right? You've got a U.S. clientele, I would imagine, and it makes it a little bit easier that you're able to manage this. And you're also a business service as opposed to a consumer service, right? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I think that's a big differentiation. We know about the second SIM because you when you travel and how important it is, data as well. We're not about that. The service is not about getting data on a SIM so you can watch Netflix or do other things overseas. This is a business tool. Of course, we can expand, we can add, but the main focus is that you're differentiating between your personal phone persona and your business persona, and you're making it in a natural behavior. The education and the knowledge here is not about using a technology tool. All our apps, for folks who don't know technology, we all live it, right? It's a download, it's understanding how to set up. Here, it's on your iPhone or it's on your Android phone. So yes, there's education, but it's education about something that's out there for hundreds of millions, and a tool that's just more intuitive to use, with some education. But it's because of where we are as a nation, not our industry. And the other thing is that we all know that we're all suffering from fraud, from spam, from giving out your private number. You can really separate now. And again, we've said the whole thing for years through apps. Now we're saying it on your native dialer, on your native phone, on your it's going back 30 years to your 2-line phone, landline, right? Line now on line 2. And once you get that, it's an easy aha moment. But I think we're doing that job of that education, which is not an industry education. It's on your iPhone. Learn how to take advantage of it.
Fantastic. What else should we know?
Amber, what else should we know?
Yeah, I think one thing that's interesting is that for a long time in the industry, there's been talk about you get yourself a desk phone in your pocket. And it's never really been true. But ProSIM really does make it true because you don't have to change your behavior. Changing people's behavior is really difficult, and getting someone to use that mobile app, especially if they've got a wonky Wi-Fi connection, is really hard. But now we really do have the ability to put your desk phone in your pocket. It acts exactly like any other endpoint. If you have a Gailing phone on your desk, you're getting all of that same functionality and advantages without changing your behavior, and therefore protecting your personal identity. And as you mentioned when you were talking about traveling in Europe, you scan a QR code and then you've got your second line. That's exactly how this works. So that's all our customers have to do is they decide how many eSIMs they need for their business. They assign them to a phone number. That phone number, the person associated with that number gets a QR code. They scan it, and you're off to the races immediately with your fully provisioned eSIM ProSIM solution. So it's really drop dead simple. Again, we do have to overcome the issue of locked phones, but once you've got an unlocked phone, it's just easy. And you could also can enjoy the advantages of things like your Apple Watch will give you a notification when you get a call. I use mine on my in my car all the time. When I get a call, it comes on my car's device, and I can make my business calls in the car without having to open anything or pull over or get discombobulated. It just pops up as if someone called my personal phone, which is something that our customers are really going to enjoy. The other thing I'd mention is that a lot of people ask, why is phone.com the first to bring this kind of solution to market? Why not some of the bigger players? And a big part of that is our customer base. So apps and forcing people to use apps is doable if you're an enterprise and your employees are coming into an office or they're reliably working at a desk. But a lot of our customers are deskless workers. And they're either independent business owners or they work for a small company, and it's more difficult to force them into a new behavior, into using the apps. So our customers' need really drove our attention to developing and releasing this technology because it's just super important to the folks that choose phone.com.
So you gave a couple of examples of incoming communications. What about outgoing, Amber? Let's say I'm using your service and I want to call you on my business line. How do I do that?
When you open up your dialer, it will allow you to select SIM 1 or SIM 2. So if phone.com is labeled as your SIM 2, you just make sure you've selected that SIM. You'll make the call over our network, and your caller ID will be associated with your business caller ID. It's just a super simple thing. Next time you open your dialer, it will remember the choice you made last time. So if you're mostly making business calls, you're going to have your ProSIM as your what pops up when you open your dialer, and you just go ahead and make your call.
And what about text messages?
Same. So you would get the text messages in your regular messaging app, and again, you can choose which SIM from which to send your text messages. We should note that all of the industry regulations associated with text messaging apply. So this isn't a workaround for campaign registry or anything like that. You still need to be registered. But once you are, then you're just going to do your same normal motion for texting using your ProSIM.
Fantastic, guys. As we wrap, I just want to make sure if there's something else people should know, like when availability, is there a specific place on the website to go to, like things like that. What else should we know?
So it's pretty easy to get. It's from our website. You have to be a customer first. So existing customers just add it, and new customers just get the service, a basic plan, and then add it. We're making it further easier. The first month is free. So download the eSIM. It's on your phone, and then use it. And then it's what is it, Amber? $10, right? $10 a month after that. So really easy. Just go to www.phone.com to get a plan, and then add the eSIM. For existing customers, you just go and add it. And I think we can't do an interview or a discussion these days without mentioning AI. And so all of the benefits that services that we have today, and of course, just think about it as far as where we are and how we take advantage of AI and applications and services we're going to add when you're taking it that one extra level. So I expect there'll be a lot more we're working on, and with partners, just continue to develop that. So
overall, I have two more questions. I apologize for hitting you after we've concluded, but one is if you have an area, let's say you've got weak Verizon coverage and you have a Verizon repeater, does that Verizon repeater also amplify the second SIM, your SIM? Or is that
the coverage primarily that we have, we know is 96% of the U.S. It's tradition. It's right now it's on the AT&T network. So if you do Verizon, it actually gives you a second option. If you are on AT&T, you essentially should get the same signal or strength that you get on AT&T. So wherever AT&T, 4G, 5G is much more limited, of course, but 4G is everywhere. Again, statistically, it's 96% of the U.S. And in many countries internationally. I used my ProSIM already in Europe, just as a second line. So,
and then the last question is, if you have Wi-Fi calling turned on, does that also work for the second SIM?
So if you have Wi-Fi, you can still use our app. If there's no signal, if you're in a basement or somewhere where you don't have signal, you can absolutely use the app. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Wi-Fi calling that's available on regular mobility or cellular service is going to be available really soon. Although again, you don't really need it because you have the app as well as a backup, but it will be available.
Thanks, guys. This was a great interview. Really appreciate it. I'm excited to see people benefiting from this and hearing success stories and future discussions with both of you.
Thank you very much, Rich. All the best.
Thank you.